Pranams everybody. Welcome. Just hold on 1 second. Yes. So welcome to today's session, the satsang. If you still have any questions, you can ask. That's in between also you can ask. Or you can send a chat message if you are unable to directly speak. So yesterday we did this magic of awareness session. It's a powerful basic tool. Whoever did it, as I told, re-emphasize yesterday, that one basic practice. Yesterday we had a little different approach. Every time we change our approach, and I feel the best of the approach was yesterday's. So all those who did it, do practice it. I assure you, if you do that practice and stabilize, you'll be able to do any higher practice very easily with little effort or no effort. But as I told, we have people from all walks of life. We have people at different levels of consciousness. All may be not at the same frequency. Everybody operates at a different frequency. And as per their frequency, they decode the messages also in that manner. The messages that we talk here is all from the soul point of view, from the self point of view. Even if we do the basics also, it deeply is connected to the self practices only. You might call it a root or basic practice, but it's certainly not a lower practice. And I've mentioned this many times. If you thoroughly understand what I am doing at the basic root level, and if you only do that, I am telling you, you don't need higher practices. But the mind will not listen. The mind loves this higher, lower, advanced dramas. So until we talk about some high soul level talks, the spiritual ego will not settle down. The spiritual ego wants to feel great, something higher to do, something in silence you sit. Just we contemplate. We are so high. We are so advanced. I'm telling you, that will be your fall. Whereas I'm telling you, yesterday's practice, what I told you, the root practice, if you just stay with that, and if you just contemplate on that throughout the day and night, whenever you can, you'll get a grip. It will straight lead you to Jivan Mukta state. But we don't do it. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. We don't do it. As I've told you, told you many times that, the shifting into awareness, you shift. Why do you shift? You shift because you drift. Simple. The day you don't drift, you don't need to shift. Then you are in awareness. And that is the goal. Our goal is not to study Atma Vichara. Our goal is not to understand what Ashtokara did and what Janaka did. So what if Ashtokara did or Janaka did? So what big deal? They did it. Good for them. Good for Janaka. Good for the great king. Good for the Avaduta. What for you? गुरु की करनी गुरु जाएगा, चेले की करनी चेला, उड़ जाएगा हंस अकेला. What you do and how you attain, how you achieve is all that is. It doesn't matter what Ramana did also. They were in certain state, they did it. They can only be your inspiration. They can never be duplicated. No Mahatmas, no Guru can be duplicated, but the whole world is rushing to be like them. Everybody wants to be like the Guru. Copy paste. गुरु की करनी गुरु जाएगा, चेले की करनी चेला. All are unique, all are different. So, as I emphasized in a couple of recent night sessions, find out what is your USP. Find out your niche and then work through that. In what you do, in what you are specialized, what you are good at, you can open up avenues of spirituality there. Never try to copy anybody. You will fail terribly because you can't be someone else. There is only one Ramana. There is only one Nisarga. There is only one Nityananda. There is only one you. You take anybody, your prime minister, there is only one. You can't duplicate. You might pretend, you might act, you might mask, but you can't be exactly that person. So why this whole thing? To be like someone. Be yourself. To be yourself, I have suggested many times, find what you are, who you are, what you are good at, what you are supposed to do. You all have qualities. We leave all those qualities and we try to become like anybody else. You can't. You'll fail. That is because you don't feel self-worth. The whole world has told you you are good for nothing. Or because of that, you have taken it very seriously. I'm not good at it. मेरे में क्या है? I've seen so many people say, मेरे में क्या है? छोड़ो यार. What's there in me? You tell about you. Wrong ideas these are. Wherever I go, I keep on listening to these kind of talks. When I say something, oh, it is easy for you. आप तो कर लोगे. हमारा ऐसा नहीं. See, you have condemned yourself. Subconsciously, you're telling yourself, I don't deserve it. I'm not worthy. I cannot be that. Consciously, what you tell, it's coming from your subconscious. You must be aware of why am I speaking like this? Why am I putting myself down? Why am I saying somebody else is great? Why am I feeling that somebody else can do it? Because I've been seeing somebody else do it. I'm trying to do that. If you put the word I'm trying, you will always be trying whole life. That is what your subconscious will attract. Keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. Until you have the confidence that I am different, I am unique, I can find my own uniqueness and I will find it. I don't want to be part of the herd. Why should I follow anybody? Why should I follow any system? Whole world is going, let them go where they want. I'll find out what have I come here to do. I'll create my own path. See, that's how it is. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said, as many souls, that many paths. As many souls, that many paths. हम गिनती करके बोलते हैं, this path, that path. Everybody is unique. Everybody's path is unique. You find out, you look at all the pathfinders, all the path leaders, you look at they found their own paths. They can only inspire others, but they should never make anybody follow them. Following means you are trying to make duplicate carbon copies. Very bad. Carbon copies means robots, slaves. What else is followers? What can they do? They are constantly following somebody else's worth. They constantly believe in somebody else's worth. Why? Because they are performing there on the stage all the time, on the internet. Performance pay performance, performance pay performance. Circus is going on. And you keep clapping and you say, "What a performance." I can't do that. First of all, in spirituality, you need not do gymnastics. Whoever is doing, let them do. But you need not do. Nisarga never did gymnastics. Ramana did gymnastics. He held his nose, he put his leg on his shoulders. Did Ramana stand on his head? Did they sit in Padmasana? Did they roll up their eyes? This is a direct path and simple and straight path. No formalities. That is why I've been telling in this past 1 week. Break all that nonsense now. आसन लगाए बैठना है, आंख ऊपर करके बैठना है, ये टेढ़ा मेढ़ा करके बैठना है, किसको दिखाना है? नौटंकी है सब. Spiritually go. Nityananda calls that circus. Circus feats and cinema performance. Rolling up the eyes and sitting in meditation. He says that is not samadhi. So give up all those wrong ideas because there is nothing to prove anyone anything. Be simple, be straight, be as you are. Focus on not purity, but on wholeness. If you focus on purity, you'll start pretending. You'll start striving so hard that you'll find the path very difficult. Take if you want these tips, I'm telling you. If you say purity, 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 I have to become pure, you'll always find you are not pure. You might fool for a day or two, I'm pure, I'm divine, but the third day, fourth day, your mind will go back again to the same things. And that guilt will start building in you. A couple of attempts you will do, and then you will create the image, I'm impure. And the moment you say, I'm impure, I'm not able to purify, immediately your whole system will shut down. And you'll internally give up. Consciously you might struggle, but inside you will give up. It's a very difficult. God knows how these great people are. All the divine people, see how pure and they're pure is your idea, my dear. Nobody is pure. I'm telling you this. Nobody is pure. They have understood, they have realized how to focus on the better aspects of themselves. I've told you this many times. Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva are in different qualities, quantities. They cannot be eradicated. You cannot say I've killed Tamas and Rajas, only Sattva is there. It's not possible. Quantity will go down. Tamas and Rajas. Quantity goes down means it is sitting there. Anytime it gets energy, it will start. Strive up. That's the story of Narada. Overconfident that I have won over Kama, over desires, over lust. Unbeatable I am. And he failed terribly at the hands of that Leela of Narayana. Within moments, he fell for it. Where was that Kama? It was hidden. It was subdued. At that time, when somebody is very divine, you can't understand. See, in retreats you sit, in webinars you sit, in satsangs you sit, in samadhi, you'll never feel you are impure. You'll feel you are very pure. But after some time, the mind will catch up. And you will go back again to the same thing. So when you program yourself with these kind of thoughts, purity, 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 you'll never get there. You'll keep sliding down because this purity doesn't come. This purity is a very deep subject. Papaji, Punjaji, I heard his quote somewhere where he said, give up purifying the mind. There is nothing called mind only, first of all. What are you trying to purify? You shift into awareness and you stay there. At that moment, there is no mind. When you go back to the mind only, impurity ka sawal aata hai. That is why Ramana says, you are never impure. Your mind is impure and you are not the mind. See, the whole perception changes. If you sit in the mind and doing these practices, Something or the other is always there to bother you, to pull you down. So I'm saying don't focus on purity in the path, focus on wholesomeness, wholeness. Become whole, complete. Carl Jung was a psychologist, deep psychologist. He's done great work. He used to say people with sexual habits, when they repeatedly go back to those sexual habits, there is a deep guilt that comes up. So they try to wash it up, cover it up, and because they have this idea of purity in the head. So they try to become pure by straining that action, straining that habit, forcefully straining that habit. But they don't understand that habit is not a habit for pleasure. The sexual urges are not forces for pleasure. It is not an addiction to pleasure. The world talks about pleasure. See, we all understand that only. It is pleasure. It is an addiction to pleasure. It is not an addiction to pleasure. It is an addiction to attempt to become complete. Deep inside, there is incompleteness. So, during any sexual acts or sexual habits, one finds deep connection with themselves. Are you getting the whole idea? In those moments, there are deep connection with themselves and they feel complete. So, what is lurking in their unconscious? Incompleteness. They will find completion, even if it is temporary. They will find completion, they will hit that spot, and they will feel wholesomely complete in bliss. And again, the whole thing collapses. And after some time, there is a craving, recraving for the same completion. And that keeps becoming an habit because one is not becoming aware of what is that incompleteness. Carl Jung is a great man. We are sitting here with all these spiritual talks. Spirituality is these things, going deep and doing investigations on that level. Because if there is an incompletion, it will keep troubling like very bad. Incompletion can be in any manner. Deep loneliness, deep sadness, deep grief, deep incompleteness. So subconsciously, it wants to feel a sense of completeness. And the moment there is an emptiness, feeling of emptiness, subconsciously there is a trigger to feel complete. It is so subtle. It looks all conscious, but it's so subtle. Subconscious trigger is there to fill up that emptiness. So in these acts, there is no emptiness, there is fullness. But unfortunately, since it is long, not pertain for long, immediately there is a fall back into that emptiness. And the mind looks at the whole drops, the highs and the lows. So when one is not able to sustain that happiness or completeness for a long time, and one falls, he falls into a trap of guilt again. Then again, the whole thing repeats. People can take what do you call prana sankalpas, strong will, strong decisions. That from now I will change. That's it. That's the last time. From here it is going to change. I'm sure this is all relatable to all of us. Very common things are not spoken. because these things are considered taboo, and if you see, these things are the very basis of things that cause us harm. So whenever one doesn't want to face that emptiness, whenever one doesn't want to face that dirtiness in oneself, that so-called impurity in oneself, if they don't want to face that incompleteness, unwholeness, emptiness, whenever that emptiness is trying to show up, because we are in a constant pattern of escapism, we immediately gratify, and that remains a long time issue. It's very deep psychology. You'll see when somebody is in deep meditation, or let's say retreats and things like that, when one is full, wholesome, subjectively full, subjectively fully illumined, no emptiness at that time. At that moment, see, you will not have any kind of lower urges, because there is a sense of completion. This can be investigated. These things can be anyhow. Why did I come to this topic? Was about the rajas, tamas, and sattva. These qualities keep fluctuating. These don't eradicate completely. So Narada story, you can see, it was there, but it was at a very low. It will get triggered, activated anytime if that alertness cannot be there. That is why these stories are told. Where did we get into this topic? Yeah, I was telling you, look at somebody and say, oh, see, look at all those divine people, all those saints. And you start comparing, isn't it? You compare, I want to become like them. You want to become a carbon copy? Because you are only presuming about them, assuming about them. Do you think they are going to take the mic and broadcast what is going on in their mind and their struggles? Leave all these things aside. Get to the tattvas, focus on the tattvas. Just remove this idea of duplicating someone else, all these ideals and idols and things like that. They are only to keep you attentive and to learn from, to be inspired from, but don't become them. You can't become them. That's the whole thing I'm telling. You can't become them. So I was talking about the basic practices, the root practice, which has to be done by everybody. Otherwise, retreats I'll be watching. Last moment, I can drop your names. The condition itself is you have to be doing those practices, and we will test you. You cannot bypass the system, because this time, even from abroad, many people are coming. Them also, I have told very clearly. You book your tickets and all those things, you better do these practices. If you're not doing, last moment, I will drop you out. Because we don't want time pass people there, coming and with their mouth open, staring what's going on. I pata nahi, some alien land they have come. Ye kya chal raha hai? And scratching their head, what's going on. That is why these things are only for strictly for members only. Because members are participating regularly, they know what's going on. Overconfident people also beware. हम पहुंचे हुए हैं, सबसे खतरनाक फीलिंग है वो, हम पहुंचे हुए हैं, वही गिरा देगा आपको। वो पहुंचे हुए, यू विल सिट, मैं पहुंचा हूँ, और आप देखोगे कोई तो ओवरटेक करके जा रहा है गाड़ी आपके सामने से, यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू बेयर इट। So many years I thought I am so advanced, and somebody is going right in front of me. ये क्या है? What is this? That is because they are humble and practicing sincerely. The root level पे है। Because if the foundation is not strong, the building pura hill jayega. So never think you can come to the retreats and something great will achieve there. Nothing will happen. You'll get bored. You'll sleep half the time. You'll go into deep sleep. You can't bear it. So once in a lifetime you might come there. You don't know. When you are getting opportunities, complete it अच्छी तरीके से. ये बहाने नौटंकी बात छोड़ दो. ये ड्रामे, the priorities change. You put so much of money, you just put so much of time and efforts. You take holidays, you adjust so many, इतना ये करके रात को उधर आते सो जाते उधर. What is the need? You come all the way from those countries, traveling all those things to only sleep in that place. Come on. So be ready with the basics. The basics are, and I'm keeping a thorough watch on everybody. It's like I know very well what shoes up to wear. So this time we have many new people also. I've told everybody the same thing. I'll be sending this recording also to everybody. These are conditions, very, very strong conditions. Those who can't make it in December, February, we have opened up another one. If you want, you can apply there and I'll send you the dates. Dates will be only given to only those who are selected. But again, the conditions will remain the same. So all these tattvas of Ramana, any books or anything you take to contemplate upon, you can very easily contemplate, very easily have direct experiences, even by reading Ramana's books, because the basic must be strong. Those who do this basic root practices are never in their mind. How do I know I need the root practices? You still worry. You still are tensed. Still fear is gripping you. Still you have issues with your well-being, physical well-being, emotional well-being, mental well-being, health, I mean. Still you are living and brooding in your past and future, despite all those advanced practices. That means you need the root practice. अभी बैठा नहीं है foundation. Because until you prepare your instrument first, what are your instrument? Your antakarana plus physical body, your man, buddhi, mind and intellect, systems they are, and your body, these are systems. ये अगर साथ नहीं देंगे, if these do not cooperate with you, you cannot do any practices. The root practices actually stabilizes this. Basic ones. So those who have missed it, you better do it. I'll put it up in the course. You better go and do it. Otherwise, we'll simply waste time, yours and mine. Get stabilized. Get stabilized. See, if the root practice is very strong, with that heightened sense of awareness, you can release, you can heal, you can detoxify, you can self purify the chitta, whatever those concepts and beliefs and wrong programmings and conditionings are there. It can be released, traumas can be released, deep inner wounds can be worked upon. That also you can do, and the higher practices you can do very easily because you're becoming emptier and empty and you're stabilized in the root. You'll be able to do it very well. Funnily, I see people who are already so stabilized in their chitta. They attend this. They don't need it actually. I feel like telling them you don't need it, leave it, but they sit there, not even leaving that opportunity. They want to see another angle of that. Means leaving no stone unturned. Such people will definitely attain it, guaranteed, in this lifetime only. Because their patterns are like that. That is called mumukshatva. Without mumukshatva, you cannot attain this. Mumukshatva means that gasping for it, like a suffocating man under the water, desperately trying to put the head out and one breath. How your hands and feet will be acting? What will happen to your heart? What will happen to your nervous system when you're down there? That one breath, otherwise you'll die. That is the prerequisite for getting realizing God realization. And here we are not talking anything less than that. Retreats and all are aimed for that only. We don't do any retreats how to make you a better efficient man and how to become a good professional, how to become a good father, mother, husband, wife, brother, sister. How do I go back into my world and then go and manifest more dreams? This nonsense we don't do in retreats. You have done it all your life enough in all the spiritual programs. This is the real purpose of your life. What you have taken birth for, you are reminded that. Rest what you do in the world, that's up to you, how you balance it. But retreats and all, when we come, it is that only. The agenda is nothing but that. Then only you can understand Ramana. Then only that grace which is there. Parashakti, what did we do? Akhand. Akhand Yuddha. Parashakti can be awakened only and only if your direction is to become akhand, whole. Akhand means whole. What did I say today? Focus not on purity, but becoming whole, complete, purna. Purity is just one part. When you say akhand, it's everything. Everything comes inside that. Everything is covered. All diversities are gone. अखंड का युद्ध मतलब no bits and pieces, no टुकड़ा टुकड़ा anywhere, no part of me is disintegrated anywhere. I am completely aware of everything. Wholesome means, oneness means, I am aware of my good and bad. I embrace myself completely, my good and bad. When you say purity, you are discarding one side, you are running to the other. That's not wholesomeness. That's partial. Durga Saptashati is wholesome. Parashakti can be invoked only for wholesome because she is wholesome. Parashakti is wholesome. Parashakti is not Khandit. When you say Durga, when you say Kali, when you say Saraswati, when you say Lakshmi, when you say any other goddesses in bits and pieces, that is all Khandit. Parashakti is the wholesome, total culmination of all these forces. She is one, Akhand. From there it has been split. So if you want to catch the Akhand, you have to first have the nature of Akhand, Purna. Bhava should be Purna, for Purna, not sitting fighting, this is my bad, that is my good. I want to become like that saint. I don't want to become like this one. I have lot of flaws in me. You are great. For you it is easy. For me it is not easy. ये अखंड नहीं है, ये खंडित है. तो पहले तो भावना. First we bring that bhavana. First we correct these wrong beliefs what we have. These are all corrections. You have to correct all the wrong programmings. Yesterday, as I said, it is okay to be not okay. Who said you can't be okay? In spirituality, this is considered a sin to be not okay. You're angry, you're hateful, you're disgusted, you're frustrated, you're lusty, you're jealous. You're not accepted. It is not. You're only pavitra log. I don't care for that bullshit. पवित्र लोग ही आए, ऐसे थोड़ी होता है. कौन है पवित्र? सब मास्क पहने बैठे हैं, चोला ओढ़े, कोई पवित्र नहीं है. No one is Purna. If anybody is Purna, will not be seen in this world. काम ही नहीं है उनका इस दुनिया में. क्या काम है? If we are in this world doing this and that, हम पूर्ण नहीं है. पूर्ण है तो लिप्त मुक्त हो गए. You're out of this world system. You don't need to even look back at this world. इच्छा ही नहीं है. अखंड हो गए पूरा, बैठ गए उसके अंदर. Complete. And those are rishis in the Himalayas. Those are the great masters in the astral forms, in some jungles, in some caves, in some mountain places. They are there. They might be having hundreds of years of life, 400, 500 years, whatever they might be doing from the background, but they have no interest in this world. पूर्ण है. If we are moving around in this world, समझ लो पूर्ण नहीं हुए अभी तक. अभी भी इच्छाएं हैं, desires. Now you might justify and say, oh, that is a beautiful desire. So-called rishis also justified it in front of Shiva. Upadesara. They also justified as a pure, because everybody wants to claim mera shuddha bhavana hai. Who will say mera ashuddha bhavana hai? Even the rishis are telling the highest goal is to save humanity. Shiva says, first save yourself. See how deep it is. How deep it is. This is Ramana Tattva. Straight to that point. There is no other interest to polish anything else. It is just to remove all the ignorances. So that is the level of talks we are talking here. Now, to acquaint with that, we have to change our wrong programmings and give up all the old concepts. बहुत सारे old circuits हमारे अंदर पड़े हुए हैं. See, whatever I'm talking right now is a contradiction in your mind, isn't it? It will conflict because you have never heard topics like this, where somebody is saying it is okay to be not okay. It is okay to be angry. It is okay to be impure. Jesus was okay with impurity. Buddha was okay with impurity. Buddha never said only pure people come to me. Jesus never said sinners all go away from me. In fact, he lived among sinners. I was told once a great mystic, I think Nityananda, but I don't have verified information whether it was Nityananda, but people say it was. Somebody asked Bhagavan Nityananda, you are such a great Avaduta, you are in such a great state, but why is it that people around you are full of politics, criminal minded, evil, not thinking good for others, playing politics amongst each other, fighting amongst each other. But you are like this, why is your surrounding like this? And Nityananda is supposed to have said, मुझे अच्छे लोगों की क्या जरूरत है? Why do I need good people? My work is with the bad people. See, good people, if they are saintly and divine people, उनका क्या काम है? There is no work to do. Work is to purify them, right? Work is to help them. So naturally, if avatars come, or if any punyatmas come, they come for the downtrodden. Do they come for the elevated souls? Think about it. This will remove self-worth issues from us, guilt in us. हम पापी हैं. पापियों के लिए ही गुरु मंडला है. All the ascended masters ask for us only. We have reserved them. It is not for others. They are all here for us. The wise are for the ignorant only. Can the wise come for the wise? No, wise is for the ignorant. What does Yoga Vashishta say? If all the saints, yogis, who have realized the truth, turn their back towards the world What would happen to the ignorant people? Yoga Vasishtha. They have to turn back and help them. So all those who turn back to help will embrace the downtrodden only. Because why? Whom are they trying to help? Now all the people who went to Ramana ashram, were they all saints who are liberated? They're not yet liberated. Even if saints went there, they're not liberated. Some atkan hai. Some stuckness is there. That is why they go there. Otherwise, why they'll go there? If they are complete. पूर्ण है तो क्यों जाएंगे? नहीं जाएंगे. Something is there. Still left. Little bit at least to complete. Otherwise, they will not go. If they are full in themselves, they will not go. Even if they come across each other, they will not speak a word. Nityananda passed by Ramana ashram. When Ramana was there, they never spoke. Narayan Guru from Kerala, he came there. Great Mahatma, a great Gyani. Narayan Guru. You can read about him in Kerala. He reformed Kerala completely. He broke all those old systems and the casteism and all those things, untouchabilities. When Narayan Guru came to Ramana, he just sat quietly. And after some time, he left. That's the way of Gyanis who are complete. Even if they come across them also, there is nothing to seek, there is nothing to ask. Rest, who have something to ask, who have something to take and learn. They're going there because they will get helped. And they are sitting there to help. Simple. There is a transaction. So, first of all, we must remove from our minds this feeling of self worth. I am not worthy enough. I am not ready enough. These are all excuses that the mind is making. Even when we come for retreats, when we apply for these kind of programs, inside there is a no, I'm not ready yet. Your Vishayavasana is dancing inside you. Worldly Vansala is too much. So you are giving one excuse to yourself to escape. But you can't escape also. Inside that tug of war and inside that pull is so strong. Inside guilt also is coming. Somewhere I had got spiritual. Now suddenly if I lose touch in it, what happens? I'm getting scared. So let me stay in touch. So we tries to stay in touch, but यहाँ पूर्ण नहीं, वहाँ ढिंचक ढिंचक चल रहा है उधर. विषय वासना inside. You might be sitting here, but your pub is calling you. Your discotheques are calling you. Your parties are calling you. Your friends are calling. Your trips are calling. Your picnics and calling you. Your parties are calling you. So mind is there, but this is like a fulfillment. ये भी करना ही है. You can't please God like that. Nobody is even looking at these kind of activities when you do this. Your attendance is of no use. Let me do some spiritual activities. These are all transition phases. The soul is just evolving. It's begun the journey. तो पहले ये सब चलता है नाटक. थोड़ा इधर, थोड़ा उधर, थोड़ा इधर, थोड़ा उधर. Sometimes you might get off the path for a long time. The world will take over you. The pleasure of the world. Chanda Munda has succeeded. Munda has thrown its jala on you, web on you, and pulled you. Come, there is happiness here. And before you know, you are settled down there. Now the guilt is troubling. You want to come back here. So Chanda Munda keeps acting in this manner. So in the start, all these things will be there. The tug of war will be there. Little pull here, little pull there. So sometimes the world overtakes you so much with its pleasures and delights. that you are lost. Even if you know, you say, tomorrow. It's like the snooze button of the alarm. Morning alarm is ringing and you want to snooze it. Just another 10 minutes. Just another 10 minutes. Procrastination. So that will go on in the end because the world is giving so much of tamas and rajas. Until it kicks you, suddenly there will be a kicks or blows from here and there. Then you will be very active. Then you will run in direction of the spirituality. Now, why you are desperate for answers? You want solutions now because your tail is on fire. Then I become very serious, damn serious. Whatever you tell, whichever retreats you tell, whichever webinars, wherever places you want me to go, whichever avduts I have to beat, whichever gurus I have to, I'll do everything. My tail is on fire. That is not mumukshatva. That is because the tail is on fire. उसको बुझने दो आग को. You will also settle down calmly. So it takes a couple of beatings, and sometimes these beatings can take lifetimes to catch our attention. Finally, we learn that it's not there what we are seeking. This is the mind tricking us that it is telling it is there. Chandamunda. It is not there. It is not allowing me to see where it is. It is distracting me. Like I told you, this urges. It is not allowing me to become aware of what is my flaw, what is that incompleteness in me, what is that wickedness in me, what is that darkness in me which I'm not ready to see because I've been pretending all my life, wearing so many masks. I don't like to look into it because that will shock me, shake me up. Somewhere I'm scared of my own mask. So I don't sit with it. I go with those callings. And thus there is deep guilt inside, deep conflict inside, deep restlessness inside. On one side, we want to overcome it. On the other side, you don't want to overcome it because the pleasure of the world is so beautiful. On the other side, you know it's painful. You want to get out of it. You see the tug of war? There is no solutions to these things except sitting and finding your own fullness and filling your own fullness. Shift into awareness, subjective awareness, fill it, compare notes, and then see whenever you are fulfilled. Anytime you are very subjectively held on to your own energies, to your own attention, you will see there is nothing else needed. There's no pull from outside. By this practice, at least, you can get evidence. It is not there, it is here. That doesn't mean I am asking you to give up the world entirely. You can't give up the world also because I told you there is a pull there. That is your karma pulling you. Your bijas, rakta bijas. Some might be very, very strong. It might be so strong you can't take it for granted. The whole idea is to study yourself. It is not to prevent something, it is not to run away from something, neither the world or your. Be involved, but see what's happening, the psychology. Understand how this mind functions. The subconscious mind, what it is, how it functions. The unconscious, which is like dark, how it functions. You have to be an explorer, self explorer. That is tapasya. That is what we are doing. Okay. We are not doing anything else. We are doing our tapas. This is our tapas. Exploring, self exploration, self betterment for self transformation. Because there is benefits of that. When you explore yourself, you can release all the falseness, false identities, and slowly know and realize your true nature. So it leads you to that only, knowing the self or realizing the self. But for that, these concepts have to be clarified first. Wholesomeness, not partiality. Embracing first the good and bad in me. Because when you embrace only, you can sit and explore it. If you keep running from your so called bad, how are you going to ever explore it? You can't face it also. You'll never face it. You think it's a bad part of you. You automatically become bad if you think about it. And you don't want to accept I'm bad, I'm evil, I'm dirty. Because whole time I've been projected I'm a pure person. I'm a very advanced seeker. So this will be the flaws. And that will be a big blockage. After a certain time, you'll see that it's a blockage. You're not able to go beyond it. So studying of the mind is very much, very important. See, somebody asked Ramana a question here. How does a householder fare on the path? A grihastha. How do they progress on the path? And Ramana simply asks, why do you think you are a householder? See the catch, whole catch. Dekho. We have put ourselves into a bracket of grihastha. Now all the problems of grihastha will rule our heads. So Ramana is asking, why do you think you are a householder? How free you are, just think about it. If you don't categorize yourself into a grihastha, all those complications are coming from rules given to grihastha. He says, if you go out as a sannyasi, similar thoughts will haunt you that you are a sannyasi. Sannyasi also is not free. See, that thought will give you an identity and you're stuck in that identity. He says, whether you continue in the house or go into the forest, your mind is going to haunt you. See, what is he talking about? Mind. That is the culprit. A grihastha's mind, a sannyasi's mind, both have mind only. Mind is a problem. Sannyasi and the grihastha is not a problem. What the mind has made out of that is the problem. The ego is the source of thoughts. It creates the body and the world and makes you think that you are a householder. See, if you renounce it, it will only substitute the thought of sannyasi for a householder and the environments of forest for the home. That's all. So if you renounce this grahastha status, immediately the mind will grasp another status because it wants to be with, it cannot be statusless, conceptless. It cannot be just empty. It, I told no yesterday's session that it wants to hold on to some identity. So in the start, those who are in the start, this helps holding on to identity. But I am not talking to starters here. See, if somebody is a sinner, somebody has done very wrong and all that, and then you say, no, now you are a yogi, now you are a sadhaka, and they will like it. Okay, I'm a sadhaka now. That is helping them. It is reminding them, no, I'm not supposed to be on that other side. I'm supposed to be this. Acharan change hone ke liye. It's good. That way it's good. Yesterday's webinar, I told the same thing. Identity. From the worldly person, I've become a divine person. Good enough. The divine person is much better than the worldly person. So a sadhaka is better than a criminal, isn't it? Is better. But as they progress, they will see this identity has become a problem. And that has to be given up. That is what he's talking here. So if you renounce the grahastha thought, immediately it will substitute by the thought of sannyasi. And immediately the home will substitute and replace for the forest. Grihastha, when he says, I'm a Grihastha, in his house, his family, his home, his circumstances, his business, his work, that only is moving on. I'm a Grihastha. The moment he says, I am no more a Grihastha, I've left, immediately his mind will say, I'm a sannyasa. Sannyasi. I've left the world. Now I'm a sannyasi. The moment he says sannyasi, forests will come, mountains will come, ashramas will come, gurus will come, new environment will come, take over. Another bondage. So he says, if you renounce the thought of a householder, it will only substitute with the thought of sannyasi and substitute environment of the home for forest. But the mental obstacles are always there. The obstacle is there for a sannyasi also, for a grahastha also. The change of environment is not help, not of help. For the mind must be overcome in both the places. See, whether sannyasi or a grahastha, mind is the main thing. And we are all talking about the mind. All the time we talk about mind only here. Today also, see, we talked about mind, conscious, subconscious, unconscious, where this feeling of incompleteness is coming. This is our problem that we got to tackle, not grahastha and sannyasi. Not yogi or sadhaka or non-yogi or this color dress or that color. These are not our problems. You do it with a dress code, without a dress code. You do it as a sannyasi, do it as a grahastha. It doesn't matter. The mind has to be handled. The change of environment is not of help, for the mind must be overcome in both the places. If you can do it in the forest, why not at home? So why does one has to take renunciation? There's nothing to renounce. Why change environment? Your efforts can be made even now, wherever you are. The environments never abandon you. Look at me. I left home. What do you find here now? Is it different from your home? This is the reason to emphasize Sahaj Samadhi. One should be in spontaneous Samadhi, that is, in his primal state, even in the midst of different environments. So Ramana is telling, see, look, what has happened to me? I left home. I came here. Is this anything other than home here right now? You'll see it's like a home only, big family. He left a family of two, now he has 200. Even the people who leave their home and go to the ashrama, they are leaving from one home and going to the other home. That's all. So he's telling that is the reason to emphasize Sahaj Samadhi. Sahaj means natural. अपने आप जो हुए, effortless Samadhi. One should be in spontaneous Samadhi, that is his primal state, even in the midst of different environments. And that is precisely what we did yesterday. Do you see the connection? All these things don't matter. Being in your primal state amidst different environments, that is where the catch is. That's why I said if you do that, see what he's talking, one should be in spontaneous samadhi. That leads you to samadhi eventually, if you just catch that root practice. Irrespective of the state, whether I office, on the road, in the mall, here and there, it doesn't stop. Those practices don't stop. I give you different tips. Try out all the tips. That's what we are doing. This way, that way, everything you try, whichever catches your mind. Then the person says, I find it difficult to concentrate. Ramana says, go on practicing. Your concentration must come as easy as breathing. Fix yourself to some one thing and try to hold on to it, all will come right. That's what I'm telling. If you hold on to that shift, what did he say? Go on practicing. Practice, which I've been always telling, is very important. You cannot bypass practice. Then he says it will come as spontaneous as your breathing. Fix and hold on to that one practice. The rest will come. Worldly life is so distracting to the aspirants. Somebody asks. And Ramana says, do not allow yourself to be distracted. Enquire for whom is that distraction for. It will not afflict you after a little practice. Again, practice is telling. If you just condemn, no, it's very difficult, nothing will happen. You will not see your mind, Chandamunda has told you inside. Huh? Brilliantly, they give you nice excuses. Now you are convinced. Then you'll say it's very. See, this person asking the question is a person who has concluded. Huh? He has concluded. He's giving his conclusion. Worldly life is so distracting to him. He has concluded. That's how it is. So in Ghaziabad also, when I was there, I was just telling people, why have we made all these conclusions? Everybody has concluded. There is no scope of improvement only again. You want to tell something like they have concluded. This is difficult. they हमारी औकात नहीं है. We are not worthy for it. Somebody else can do it. हम नहीं कर सकते. इसको टाइम लगेगा. It is not so easy. सब बकवास है. मन का बकवास, मन का कचड़ा है. ऑल चंड मुंड बोलते इसको. ये सब चंड मुंड बैठे हैं अंदर. एंड व्हाट डज चंड मुंड डू? धूम्रलोचन को शक्ति देता है. धूम्रलोचन क्या करता है? विवेक, बुद्धि बंद कर देता है. बुद्धि बंद हो गई, भ्रष्ट हो गई, तो कितना भी समझाओ, कितना भी बोलो, समझ नहीं आएगा. डेंजरस. विवेक नहीं तो कुछ नहीं है. अवेयरनेस इज नॉट देयर, इंटेलेक्ट इज नॉट पॉलिश्ड, यू टेल एनीथिंग यू कांट डू, जमेगा नहीं. And who's making this Dhumralochan strong? The one who's smoking the intellect? Chandamunda. All examples of Chandamunda which I gave. Any reason, excuse जो मन देता है वो चंडमुंडी है. आपको ब्लॉक कर देता है. It will stop. So we will only conclude. नहीं होगा, मुझसे नहीं होगा, टाइम लगेगा. अभी तो वक्त है, अभी तो शुरुआत है. We have just begun. अभी तो responsibilities है. चंडमुंड. कोई रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं है आपका. ठेका लेके आए क्या? किसने दिया रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आपको? खुद चुना है हमने. डू यू थिंक वी आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल? अरे अभी आए, अभी उठा के लेके जाएंगे. हाँ, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी उधर ही पड़ा रहेगा. आई एम रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर दिस, आई एम रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर दैट. लुढ़क गए ना, पता चलेगा. एनी मोमेंट यू कैन गो in a flash. Where is your responsibility? If you are responsible for it, then life would have maintained and sustained your life till you finish every responsibility. Does life go like that? If it is your responsibility, if life or God has given you, it's your responsibility, then it's God's business to make you, keep you alive to do that. But ऐसा होता नहीं है. Anytime you can go. Anytime you can go is an indication you are not responsible. You have taken on responsibility, Chandamunda, in the name of dharma, in the name of riti rivaj. Are you getting it? This is how the Chandamunda plays. Why it is coming? Chandamunda is acting so strong. Concepts, सब रीति रिवाज, customs, हमको बोला गया, ऐसे ही करते हैं, हमारी परंपरा है. All these things, concepts are giving rise to the Chandamunda are playing with that. They know अंदर पूरा concepts का कचड़ा बैठा हुआ है, तो Chandamunda will sit in that कचड़ा and play. The moment you want to walk free, एक कचड़े में से, एक फाइल में से निकाल के देगा. देखो, as per the रीति रिवाज, this is the. You can't escape. Because you love those concepts so much, you will immediately say yes. People argue with me also. मतलब एक साइड में चंड बैठा है, एक साइड में मुंड बैठा है, कानों में दोनों बता रहे हैं ऐसे, तलवार चला रहे हैं. And when I tell, they will be fighting because they know their concepts and they agree with the concepts because that is their belief system. देखो how dangerous concepts are. कॉन्सेप्ट्स को पकड़े तो ये सब फायदा उठाते हैं असुर अंदर के. यू थ्रो ऑफ द कॉन्सेप्ट, चंड मुंड के हाथ में कुछ नहीं है बताने को. दे कैनॉट फाइंड एनी फाइल टू शो इट टू यू. एनी टाइम चंड एंड मुंड कम्स विथ यू विथ अ न्यू फाइल पेपर, look and smile at that guy. They will become powerless because you immediately note to them they have power and they know your weakness. You will immediately note. They know all your weak points. They will hit that weak point only. They will not allow you to say no. And that is where Viveka gets destroyed. क्यों समझ में नहीं आ रहा? Why this what is being told is not being understood? धूम्रलोचन. Can you see that loop? Partnership, beautiful partnership है असुरों का. How beautiful Durga Saptashati is actually. Not to sit playing, doing dim dum and all those sounds, but to understand the deeper meanings of all those things. You can do sounds, that is for basic people, Vaikari level people. What I'm talking is all Pashyanti Paravani talks here. If you understand Pashyanti Paravani, then you do not sit with that Vaikari level of understanding. That's what I said. Different seekers will understand what I'm saying from different levels. Some will feel offended. Vaikari fans will feel offended. Chanda Munda will tell them, hey, look, he is challenging your sacred practice. And you will say yes. Because that's a belief very strongly. You have been programmed in that manner. You'll say yes. So Chanda Munda will not allow you to rise and see things from Pashyanti level. They'll say Vaikari Mero. That's what I'm saying. Find the uniqueness. Forget all these things. What people are doing. वो लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, ये लोग क्या कर रहे हैं. खुद देखो आपको क्या अच्छा लगता है. Simplify spirituality in your own way. In your own beautiful way. Just simplify it. जितना सरल बना सके उतना सरल बना के. Find out what unique qualities you have. Explore those qualities. It can be anything. It can be gardening. It can be craft. It can be singing. It can be music. It can be art. Why I'm telling this is because you'll be connected to what you love doing. Whenever you connect spirituality with what you love doing, it becomes very powerful. Yeah, that's why I'm telling you, make it powerful. Don't take spirituality like a ritual. You're not, I'm feeling bored here to meditate. Bore lagega hi. Because somebody has told you if you don't meditate, you will suffer. You are trying to meditate, and in meditation, you are suffering. To escape suffering, you are meditating, but that meditation only is giving you suffering. Wrong ideas. I keep encouraging people. You, आप गाना आता गाओ. Poetry लिख सकते हो लिखो. You like writing stories, write. Write poems, write from your heart. Make blogs, write diaries. Show it to the world. You will feel noticed. Self-worth will start building up. I have done all these things. That is why I'm telling you. Self-worth will build up. I had a screwed up self-worth from childhood. Pura childhood satyanash. All the time told you're not good for anything. Literally mantra. I can still remember the mantra that I was constantly told. You're good for nothing. You'll never improve in life. You look at that one. Comparison. Look at that guy next door. Look at your friend. Look at them, how they are performing. You are like this only, not. When somebody performs somewhere in what is that called? Celebrations, school day, annual functions, and things like that. Somebody gets surprised, people will look at me. They immediately self worth down. And this is hammered into the child. By the time I became a teen, I was 100% sure I'm good for nothing. I can't do anything in life. I used to hesitate even to talk to people. I used to hesitate to write a job application somewhere. Even if I went for a job, I used to know guaranteed I'm not going to get it. Just looking at the confidence of others, I would say, they are good, better. I'm not good for like them. See, programming. But later stages, these things helped me. Blogging, poem writing, because these were hidden talents in me. Art, nobody appreciated it. Dance, singing, nobody appreciated it. But whenever I got moments, I used to do that sitting with my friends, and I felt so good. And when the talent was appreciated, oh my God, I was like, huh? ऐसा भी होता है? People can love me for that because you get attention suddenly. And when attention is coming, that's something different. So healing begins there. It's a healing process. ये सब healing processes है. And I know I've come here to express that I must express. Once when I was in the ashram, when I was working in the ashram, one jealous comrade with me who was there, he directly wrote an email to me writing that he was upset on something I told him. He was upset, but he preferred to put it in the mail, and he put CC to my guru and departments, all the people, and he said, "You have become a celebrity." Those days, I was, yes, very popular in that path. Everybody knew me there, and I was on the 6-7 next to the guru and full in limelight. But deep inside, I knew that if this name is removed from me, kutta bhi nahi पूछेगा मुझे. I knew it very well. If this name, I have my name and title has come there, my position is there. That is why people are connected so strongly. Why will people connect otherwise? काम का है ना. I never took that seriously. But what I used to do in those profiles is I roamed, I used to put. I traveled, I put. I played the guitar, I put. I sang a song, I put. I danced somewhere, I put. Whatever poem I wrote, I put. I started sharing, writing blogs and you know that expression which was held up inside, bottled up in my childhood. I couldn't speak, I couldn't express well. My creativity trampled. That started all coming out, and I used the social media for that. And when I was doing that, it went more than expectation, overdoing it. And some jealous guys were very upset with it. So they got an opportunity. They wrote an email to me. One guy wrote an email to me, Jacob G, you are using your name for a wrong purpose. You are putting the name of the Guru there in your name because it was Jacob Shuan that time. Guru का नाम लगा दिया, famous हो गए. You become famous. You become a celebrity and singing songs like a pop rock stars. And people are always gathered around you. Wherever spiritual programs are there, they leave their focus and you guys are all, I am distracting people and I become a celebrity. सिर्फ autograph देना बाकी रह गया. That's what he wrote exactly. I was very furious when he wrote that. I would have given back, but then I saw CC में Gurudev also is there. So my spiritual mask became a little prominent and I shied down. Because if that mask was not there, I would have literally सुना दिया होता. But we are all actors, right? Spiritual actors. So I'm a divine person. How can a divine person react? You can't react, right? I have to behave like calm. So I behaved like calm. But under, I was like upset. And I was wondering He also read it, everybody read it, Gurudev read it. इसने तो अपना भड़ास भी निकाल दिया. I didn't say anything, and over a period of time, I didn't give any heed to it. But one day, I think after a month or so, we were sitting all together, and Gurudev was there in the room, and we were discussing on some projects or something. There were many people. Suddenly, out of the blue, Gurudev said, "You must sing." He said, "It's a God gift. You must use your God gift." I was so relaxed. Because, see, when somebody puts you down on that, I am programmed by that, I'm not good for it. So it's not a new thing for me. But the way somebody said it, it hurt me. But it's not a new thing. I am already told all my life, you're not good for anything. So after trying to do something, if somebody puts me down, I can believe that very easily. So I pulled back, but my Gurudev saw that. He said, "You must sing." And he told me very clearly, your sadhana is your creativity. Your creativity is your everything, your sadhana. Don't leave that. And that is how you put me into the creative fields. He said, you'll do better there. You'll not do better here in the front and all that. ये friction होते रहेगा तुम्हारा सबके साथ. Because I was like very jagdalu. Anywhere you go, anywhere little wrong going, I'll go. And सब तरफ हंगामा होना शुरू हो गया. Then he said, your sadhana. This is the right exact words he told me. तुम्हारा sadhana खराब हो जाएगा. You get into the creative. For focus on the creative aspect of you. Nourish that. And he told that's God gift. फिर तो क्या फिर लाइसेंस मिल गया फिर उसके बाद और गाने कराओके एवरीथिंग आफ्टर सम टाइम इट स्टॉप्ड वासना खत्म उसका slowly reduced expression bottled up expression which I could not express but it heals I can assure full guarantee I can tell it heals and that is why I encourage people wherever I go whenever I see any talent in anybody I encourage and I say do that follow that bring it out to the world you'll feel good about it. When you feel appreciated your self-worth will improve. If your self-worth is damaged, when people say you're doing a good job, your self-worth, you will get self-confidence. It's healing. And at that same time there was a meeting going on, I think some forum meeting or something like that, and one of the organizer from Delhi got up and said, we have a problem, Gurudev. All these I was one of the guy who was already put. Not for application, but I use his name, right? Looked at me. I was like quietly looking at him, and then he said, "For him, it's okay. For him, I have only given that name." I was relaxed. Then I continued using. Otherwise, I was making up my decision. I am going to take out this name now because he was firing there. But immediately, I think he sensed it, my uncomfortableness. Immediately, he said, "I have given with love this name to him. So for him, it's okay. Ask the rest of the guys to do it." So why I'm saying this? Healing. These are all healing. You don't know what kind of healing will happen when somebody does that to you. In a world full of people who are only sitting here to snatch away, snatch away, snatch away, who are only sitting here to criticize, 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 who was only sitting here to point the flaws, waiting to pounce on you when you'll do one mistake, then can I catch hold? In a world full of such people, when somebody gives a healing opposite words to it, it's definitely healing. It's confidence. You start believing in yourself, what you're doing. So, see, simple examples I'm giving, but that made a deep impact on me. So, we must always find what is good for us, what is the ultimatum for us. Unfortunately, later I took up that name also. I not just Shivanand name, even my name I took it, Jake Light. I put it simply because I didn't want any identities. That's all. Not to cause problems for anybody else. Because if I do anything like right I'm doing right now, and if I keep that name, it will have complications. It will be like you belong there and you do this. You belong somewhere, you are supposed to do that. All those things will come. So I just removed it. And I became free. Concept free zone now it is. No concept, full freedom. You can be what you are. Right now, I can say I can be what I am today. If I'm unique in my way, I find out my own ways. I express it in my own ways. I find full freedom in it. That's what I encourage everybody to do. You must find out your own expressions. You might express it. You must see your uniqueness, bring it up, highlight it, believe in that, and put for that. It heals you. If you don't do that, you will find yourself only becoming slave to some or the other systems or this world, because you don't have an identity, anything to hold on to. The basic identity you don't have. You don't know who I am. I'm lost. So you keep going to the world and tell, "Sir, somebody tell me who I am." You go and bump into all relationships and you ask the relationship persons, tell me who I am, define me who I am. You go to all the jobs and you ask your boss, tell me who I am, and your boss will give you a name, your friends will give you a name, society will give you a name. Your family will give you a name. Your relationships will give you your boyfriend, girlfriend, your husband, wife. They will define who you are. And after that, you'll you'll become that which somebody has told you who you are. Are you getting my point? You go to spiritual paths, they will tell you who you are. You are falana dimkana. Then you start acting like falana dimkana. तुम्हारा identity नहीं है गया. Why? Because you don't know who you are. If you wander in this world knowing, not knowing who you are, mark my words, the world will define who you are. And the moment the world defines who you are, you will sooner or later find yourself living for somebody else, living someone else's life. You will not have a life of your own. I hope you're getting what I'm trying to say. Never ask the world to define who you are. It is not the world's problem. It is because you have not defined who you are. The world is busy defining you. Please understand, the world wants people. We all need people. Look at this outgoing nature of us. What are we doing? All the time trying to connect with people, places, things, right? All the time. We want something or the other. We want to connect to people. So when the basic human ego nature is to connect to something else because it's selfish. It wants something for ourselves. This I've defined so many times. All the families, all these dramas are nothing but selfish only. For myself only, I create all these families. Then I boast that, I'm doing for them. Basically, it is for me only I'm doing. So when human nature is like this, I need it. I need this one. I need that one. I need a good support in life. I need a teacher in life. I need a partner in life. I need a friend in life. When I need all these people come, constantly the mind is seeking who's the one who can fulfill my need. Do you get it? When we are interacting the world, the subconscious mind of yours is constantly studying. You might not consciously know it. You are all the time seeing who can be favorable to me. Check it out. That's how we make friends. If they are not favorable to you, you can never make friends. Your subconscious has studied this person will be profitable. to me. All these relationship nonsense. You are investigated and you have found this person is going to be useful for me. So let me hook on to this person. And then all that dramas of the mask is all different thing only. That nobody is even aware what is happening. It's just some protocol going on. But inside, deep inside, what they have done is they have found, and it's constantly scanning in this world and finding people which are appropriate for me. And when my nature is like this, to find people appropriate for me, will I not want to give them identities? Because if I give them identities, they will work more efficiently to fulfill me, satisfy me. You see this very closely when relationships happen, for example, or when two friends come together. In the start, they come together, all goody, 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 very nice. But in moments, in a few days to weeks, you'll see one is trying to impose the on the other. One is trying to expect to the other. Both are trying to get extract out of each other. So there is a little conflict happening because one is trying to define the other. You should be like this. This is how it should be. Then they use all the formalities. ये tradition में ऐसा होता है, हमारे culture में ऐसा होता है. In my life, I have lived like this. Or they will refer to some books or some spiritual things. See, spirituality says this. Indirectly, we are defining the other person. And if that definition, defining, succeeds, the relationship continues extracting the best out of that person because I have defined. In Indian tradition, you will find this very strong, where husbands define their wife. Typical cultures, you can see this. They have defined and told exactly. They don't have to be told. The society tells, culture tells. So the women, when they walk into a house, they are programmed. They are defined by somebody that house. They don't have their definition. In today's culture, it's changing because people are becoming more aware of all these things. You can see now women are standing for themselves or men are standing for them. No, I define myself. This is my definition. This is how I'll be. You're not going to tell me how I should be. You see this equations coming up now? They are giving themselves the definition. What I'm trying to tell is if you don't define yourself, the society will define you. Immediately, you'll find yourself being slave to this society. You'll be working and slogging for somebody. You'll be obeying somebody. Either it might be obeying your wife or your husband, or you might obey your children only. When you're obeying your children, what has happened? Children have defined you. You don't know what your definition. They have defined you properly, who you are. And before you know, you are in that definition. Now you like a programmed puppet. You'll just be stuck by what they do, what they directly, subconsciously, unconsciously tell you. You're like, you can't, you don't have a word, you don't have a voice. You can't break that system because you have been defined, you have been programmed. Somebody has defined how you should be like a mother and father. What is the definition of a father? What is the definition of mother? Children have told. Like parents also tell children what is a son, what is a daughter, how children should be. They have also imposed a definition, and children don't know. Then children, you can say they are helpless. They don't have a definition. So from birth, they have to be programmed. So that's how they become lallus, panjus. They grow up in that environment and they feel the whole world is like their father and mother. When they go out into the world, they see something else. They can't bear it. They have not seen it, got programmed because their parents have defined how you should be. They're very deep it is. See, this is psychology. So let's say a child grows up with a certain personality, parents have defined. That person will become cocooned. Like I'm telling my examples for me. You become cocooned and you go out into the world with that definition. Immediately, you'll attract somebody like your parents. Your bosses will be like your parents. Your spouses will be like your parents. Your friends, your girlfriend, boyfriends will be like parents. Similar attraction will come because you're going with that vibration of programmed definition. Immediately, who's fixing that kind of a bracket will come into your life, and immediately, वो fix हो जाता है. You'll also get connected with them very easily because you are programmed. I am this manner, and that kind of a person enters your life, and whatever is defined, you'll immediately agree. If you have been naive, if you have been told you should not speak up, you should not be bold, you should not back answer. Let's say the child grows up to a teenager, they'll go anywhere. His girlfriend might tell, "Hey, you're not going to back answer me." Do you think he's going to revolt? He'll smile and say yes, because that's how he's programmed. So, that side, an abuser is there. That person, abuser. But रिश्ता फर्स्ट क्लास मैच हो गया. That is why people live in abuse also. Have you seen some relationships, especially in spouses and all that? Abuse is going on. They have taken it as a part of life, and it's okay. It's fine. Nothing to fight for. Also, I have seen people sometimes saying, "ये तो normal है." Husband coming drunk and punching their wives, and with the bruises. You say, why your face is swollen like this? Oh, yesterday he came drunk. Huh? Yeah, he gave me two. I said, how casually you're talking like, hey, ये तो रोज का काम. I said, what the hell? I met somebody in the mall. My friend only is long back in one of the profession he became addict, and I met his wife. Totally always abused, hit and this and abused by verbally or neglect and things like that. And I used to feel so bad because theirs was a love marriage. So good they were together in the start, but slowly things deteriorated. But I used to love this girl's patience. Whatever that guy does also. Today I met her at the mall and hey, after so many years, how are you? And hi, how's your hubby? He's in the house. House? What happened? He's sleeping. Sleeping now? Daytime? अरे कल संडे था ना. Yesterday was a Sunday. Oh. So see, the person feels on a Sunday it is okay to come and do what you want, be boozed and put the house upside down, spank your wife, hit the children, do anything on it. It's a Sunday. His day. See, this is our psychology. These are little examples that I'm giving you. This applies in spirituality also. You go like a dumb person, you will be absorbed immediately, where you will be defined what to do. Then you will be told you are this. फिर देखते ही देखते तुम्हारे ऊपर एक पोशाक आ जाएगा, एक गले में एक रिबन आइडेंटिटी कार्ड आ जाएगा, and some ताज आ जाएगा, some brand names will be printed. Before you know it, who are you? I am this. I am this. I am this. What you are not, you're telling. Somebody has hired you. Somebody has enslaved you. And you feel that's still the most horrendous thing is people feel it's okay. As they say, this is our tradition, this is our culture. Everybody does it, everybody is doing that. How can it be wrong? My God. Do you see how deep it is? So to break these barriers, we need Jiddu. Jiddu breaks all this. So if you listen to Jiddu, you will understand you have to find your own identity. That is the saddest thing. In spirituality, it should not happen. Whenever you go into spirituality anywhere, you should be told who you are. You should be introduced to yourself. not to themselves. You are all introduced to themselves. People are introduced to themselves. All day and night they're talking about others. They don't know who they are. With this simple concept of what Ramana is telling, the outer guru leads you to your inner guru. But people are all in the outer only. They never return back. Circuit ही खत्म नहीं हो रहा उनका. We are beings that are outwardly, bahimukhi. But we cannot be bahimukhi all the time. It has to go and hit back and come back. Because the purpose of bahimukhi is to become antarmukhi. Why did you go out? If you go out in samsara, you get lost in samsara. That is why they say, go to a guru, because he will not allow you to go outside. He will point you back to you. World will not point you back to. World will absorb you, grab you. That's what you go without identity. They will give you identity. They will absorb you into their systems, and before you know, you are lost into that. Spirituality means a reflection is shown. The whole finger points back at you. You're pointing it there, it points back at you. You go outside because it's your nature to go outside, but the authentic paths will say you're going outside, you have to return back to inside. You come outside, but they become the medium to put a mirror and deflect you back to your own. And that is called who am I. You go to Ramana, he will tell you who am I, find out who am I. Ramana is not telling, find out who am I sitting here. Find out my autobiography, how long I have been sitting here, study about me, find out where you can keep my photos. He's not telling about him. He is telling all the time about you. Who are you? Find out who you are. And that's what I'm indirectly only telling you here. Finding out your own identity means that only. Your identity, ढूंढते ढूंढते आपको आपका स्वयं नेचर पता चल जाएगा. True nature. Because you're searching it in the right place. You're trying to identify who am I. First you identify with the name, with the skills, with the passions that you have, and then you give identity. Okay, I am this, at least, but you are in the right place. You're in the subjective place, telling I'm an artist. Okay, good enough. Slowly, as the spirituality deepens in you, you'll stay here only. You will only keep saying, I'm an artist, I'm a poet, I'm a singer, I'm a writer. Whatever you are defining yourself. You don't need anybody else to tell you who you are. You shouldn't ask also the world. You must put time to explore. Who ask the world? Shortcut people. They want to immediately know who am I? Tell me who am I. That is how they go and get stuck in the outside world. Those who take time to explore themselves will give themselves the identities. You'll know I am this. Strongly, you'll know I am this. You'll know this is my nature. This is my good part. And this is my bad part. You know it. You know it fully. Society should not tell you this is your bad part. This is your good part. Madhu Ketab. You are so good. You're a fantastic person, Madhu. And say you are hopeless, you are not good in this, you did this, your flaws are this. And then you're scratching your head and sometimes you're shocked and not. No, before that, if you know yourself, you know your flaws. So if somebody points out, it's a feedback. You can say, yeah, I know. Thank you for reiterating it. So when you know you are working on it, and when will you not know? When you're not subjective, when you're objective, when you're outside, you'll not know yourself. So these are the basic qualities. Know thyself first, completely. Have your identity. Find out your own uniqueness. Find out your strengths. As you find out your strengths, you will surely find out your weakness. Because only when you see your weakness, you will know your strengths. They are interrelated. Know yourself completely. I'm a bundle of this package and accept yourself wholesomely. I accept myself the way I am. Accept doesn't mean okay, I accept my wrong part in me, bad part in me. I have given myself license to go ahead with the wrong. It doesn't mean that. It simply means I realize I have this good and bad, and I realize I'm a human being. I realize I have come here to spend time in transforming these things and slowly improvising things. So it's okay if I'm having these negative flaws. I never considered myself as pure or advanced or some very high or things like that. I'm the lowest of lowest. I can fall anytime down. And anybody tomorrow can bypass me and go ahead. I'm not at the highest point. Wherever I am, I know what I am. And my work is to look at both these areas and rise above both. It's not just from negative I become positive. It is neither negative, neither positive. But before that, you must know. So, in this journey, when you're doing this, you need power, you need support, self motivation, self inspiration. That will come by identifying your uniqueness. That will stand as a support pillar to you. And the more you do it, the more you'll gain confidence in it. The more you'll stand on your own, independence will come. Those who are dependent are the people who do not know who they are. Dependent means Salamba. Nirlamba means independent. I keep putting these posts, right? Like travel alone, be alone, stay alone and see what will happen. Be with yourself and see what will happen. Go somewhere alone and see what will happen. You will explore yourself. We don't do that. We'll find company. A company कोई नहीं आ रहा तो then plan cancel. Why? Because we have not found our uniqueness and we don't want to find it. We are not ready to face ourselves. Simply, we hate ourselves. Some part we hate, we don't like in ourselves. Very true, I'm telling. Those who can't sit alone have these problems. I can't be with myself. You're disliking, you're rejecting, you're escaping some part of yourselves. Until you escape, you'll find some habits, some passions to make you feel complete, but you are not complete. So this path of shifting into awareness, you sit, be with yourself, be aware subjectively, find out your own uniqueness and build up that strength. At least in the physical world, start working alone, being alone, being okay with being alone. Then we can talk about Nirlamba. If all these things only scares us to hell, physicality, how do you think from internal you can just be Nirlamba? No. So these are all support practices. It will slowly, this is how we must build up ourselves little by little. Any questions on today? Okay, no questions, I think. So I hope today's satsangs helped you. Today's satsang we focused on our uniqueness, finding and building out our uniqueness, not letting others define who I am, because the practice of who I am, you only have to do it. Nobody else. That is why the guru cannot teach you who you are. You only have to find it out. Now, if our habit is world define me, you'll go and ask the guru also, teach me who am I. And the guru will say, you don't know who you are. You can't find out who you are because only you know yourself better. Not any other person can know you. No teacher can complete to that for that reason only, because there are so many hidden things in us which the outside, even gurus cannot find out. We are such a unique being, even the best friend, the best relationship However close you are, do not know one major chunk of you. Only you know it. So only you can work on yourself, and only you can realize who you are. Become aware of our presence. The presence that always guides us. The presence within us that is every day, every moment becoming more and more awake. The awareness part in us, the witness part in us, the wisdom aspect in us, the knower in us. Whenever we are in satsang, the knower inside immediately knows what is the truth. What is it that knows what we are hearing or reading is the truth? What is it? That is this divine intelligence in me. My awareness is always fully intelligent. It knows everything. Connect to that part, that presence in you, wherever you feel it, in your whole being. That part of you which can never be impure. Ramana says, your impurities are in the mind. Always, always. It is in the body. It is in the pranas. But you are none of these. You are this pure awareness, pure spirit, untouched by anything, good or bad, purest of pure. We all have that in us. The two birds sitting on the tree, one sitting on the higher branch, one sitting on the lower branch. The higher branch tree, the bird who's sitting on the higher branch, is sitting there still, watching the activities of the bird sitting on the lower branch. The bird on the lower branch is constantly picking fruits, moving from this branch to the other, restless, continuously eating fruits, worms. So, this lower bird is our mind, which is constantly eating the fruits of its own karma, desires, and karma, always active. This is a story from Mandukya Upanishad of the two birds. The upper bird is quietly sitting and just watching the lower bird. The lower bird, after a lot of eating, when it becomes tired, suddenly its attention falls on the bird sitting on the higher branch. Suddenly it's motivated by the stillness and peace and happiness and contentment of the higher bird. Immediately, this bird can sense the difference. I'm so tired, weary, confused. And there I can see this bird so silent, so contented, so peaceful, so happy. Immediately, the lower bird jumps few branches and goes and sits next to that higher bird. That higher bird is your awareness, the Sakshi, the witness. When the mind is weary and tired, it simply turns inward and becomes one with the awareness. The mind dissolves itself with the awareness. This is what is called abiding in the self, abiding by the higher bird. So when the mind sits there, you can see suddenly the whole being becomes still and calm. This higher bird is the knower, it knows everything. is the wisdom. This higher bird is in us. Connect to that space which knows you thoroughly, which knows every nook and corner of your life thoroughly, but does not comment. It does not judge you. Become aware of it. Be one with it. The more and more you put your mind into this pure spirit, the mind also becomes purer. The mind starts getting the quality of this higher bird. So that is the whole purpose of shifting into awareness. Lower bird moving to the higher bird is the shift into the awareness and staying there. Yesterday we talked about our only goal about happiness and contentment. Happiness and peace was the right two words. Whole webinar was focused on this. The self is happiness and peace. But when we are not abiding here, we feel the happiness and peace can be got in the branches and the fruits, and that is why we move there. Surprisingly, just after this webinar yesterday, a post came to my feed where Ramana is telling the self is happiness and peace. I immediately took that. I'll post it right now. All those who did yesterday's webinar will see exactly the same theme Ramana talks about. So, my true nature is happiness and peace. Become aware of this space, which is aware, which knows, and be thankful, feel gratitude that in this path I am being introduced to my true self. Again and again, I'm realizing who am I. Deep gratitude to all the tattvas, to the grace in my life, to the divinity, the self in me that keeps pulling me in, to the Guru Tattva that leads me in. Deep feeling of gratitude to the Guru Tattva and to this higher being, this space of awareness within me. Gratitude simply means I acknowledge the presence of divinity, presence of God in me. Just be aware of the grace. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadayachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May we all be blessed, may we all evolve, may we all be free. Stay blessed.